The stars shone cold and quiet in the dark space above Earth. But something was coming. Something huge. 10,000 warships of the Zarnok Alliance moved slowly but surely toward the blue planet. Their engines roared across the void, a soundless threat that echoed in every star system nearby. The leaders of the Galactic Council watched the scene unfold from their high towers in the capital. They were calm, confident, even amused. "Earth will fall today," said one council member with a smile. "The humans have no chance against our fleet. They will be wiped out in hours." But on Earth, things were very different. The people did not panic. There were no loud alarms or frantic rush to the bunkers. The cities were busy with daily life, as if nothing was happening. Yet, behind the calm, the leaders of Earth prepared for the fight of their lives. Commander Sarah Lee stood in the control room deep underground. Screens glowed all around her, showing the incoming fleet. 10,000 ships. It was a number no one had ever seen before. The Zarnok were serious. They wanted Earth gone. "Are we ready?" she asked her officers. "Yes, Commander," came the steady reply. "All defenses are in place. But the fleet is massive." Sarah nodded. "We won't just fight. We will surprise them." Outside, the Zarnok ships moved into Earth's orbit. Their war engines filled the space with power, but Earth's orbit was quiet. No shots fired, no defenses appeared. The Zarnok Admiral Krass frowned as he watched the planet below. "Why no response?" he asked his officers. "Maybe they surrender," said one. "Or maybe they are hiding." Krass shook his head. "No, humans don't surrender. They fight till the last breath." Suddenly, a strange pulse moved through space. It was like a silent wave. The Zarnok ship's systems flickered and slowed. Some engines cut out. Ships lost control and drifted silently away. No explosion. No battle. Just silence. "What is this?" Krass demanded. "We don't know, Admiral," his officers said nervously. The silence grew deeper. Then from Earth's deep space radar, a single message appeared. A voice, cold and strong, spoke in a language no one expected. "You chose this war. Now face the result." The message was short, but it sent a chill through the fleet. Krass's face tightened. "Prepare for battle. They are not weak. They are waiting." The Zarnok fleet tried to regroup, but more ships started to fail. Systems shut down without explanation. Pilots lost contact with their command. Fear began to grow. Back on Earth, Commander Lee smiled slightly. The silence had been their weapon. The wait had been their secret. "Now the fight begins," she said softly. Across Earth, hidden bases lit up. Machines powered on. Unknown weapons prepared silently. The planet was not defenseless. It was hiding its strength. In space, the first attack wave moved forward, but ships fell one by one. The Zarnok did not understand. How could Earth stop them without firing a single shot? Krass sent messages to the Galactic Council. "Earth is stronger than we thought. We are losing ships." The Council's laughter stopped. Their amusement turned to fear. Far away, in the shadows of the galaxy, Earth's greatest secret woke. A massive ship, long forgotten, stirred in silence. The HSS Revenant was coming back to life. No one knew this supercarrier had waited for centuries, hidden from the eyes of the galaxy. Now it was ready to change everything. The people of Earth watched the stars, their faces calm but determined. They knew the battle would be long and hard, but they were ready. 10,000 ships had come to destroy them, and only Earth knew what was coming next. The stars above Earth were silent once more. But the calm did not last long. The Zarnok Alliance's first wave of 500 ships moved closer. They were full of power and confidence. They believed Earth's defenses would be weak and easy to break. Admiral Krass stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the planet grow larger in the view screen. "Prepare for attack," he ordered. "Destroy their cities, burn their armies, show no mercy." But Earth did not answer with fire. Instead, as the first Zarnok ships crossed into low orbit, a strange wave came out from Earth. It was invisible, silent, and deadly. One by one, the ship's engines stuttered. Lights flickered inside the bridges. Weapons stopped working. Captain Drell was on his ship, the Vindicator. He checked his controls quickly. "What is happening?" he shouted to his crew. "Why are our systems shutting down?" Around him, ships lost power. They floated like broken toys, helpless and silent. Without warning, the Vindicator's engines died. The ship started to fall toward Earth. Explosions did not come from Earth's weapons. They came from ships crashing into each other and burning in the empty sky. Admiral Krass could not believe his eyes. "Is this some trick? Some hidden weapon?" "No, Admiral," said his science officer. "It's more than a weapon. It's a wave of energy. It stops our machines from working." Krass's face went pale. "How can they do this? Their technology should be weak. They are simple humans." On Earth, the source of the strange wave was hidden in a vast underground facility. It was called the Pulse Generator. Inside, engineers worked quietly. Lieutenant Chen stood before the control panel. She pressed a button. The generator hummed. "The pulse is active," she said. "We are shutting down the enemy's fleet, one ship at a time." Sarah Lee, the POI commander, watched the reports. "Keep the pulse strong," she ordered. "Do not let them repair or restart." Ships continued to fall. The Zarnok fleet was in chaos. Without power, ships drifted helplessly. Many crashed into each other. Some burned up in Earth's atmosphere. The first 500 ships were nearly destroyed without a single shot fired from Earth. Across the galaxy, news spread fast. The Galactic Council was shocked. They had expected Earth to fall quickly. Instead, the human planet had struck first, and hard. In the council chambers, tension grew. "How is this possible?" asked a shocked council member. "Earth should be defenseless. What secret weapon do they have?" Back on Earth, the pulse kept going strong. Sarah smiled. "They thought we were weak. They were wrong." Admiral Krass gathered his officers. "We must find a way to stop the pulse. Otherwise, our fleet will be destroyed." His science officer nodded. "We are working on it, but it will take time." Time they did not have. The second wave of ships arrived soon after, but the pulse hit again. More ships lost power. More crashed. Captain Drell, the only survivor from the Vindicator, floated in space on a rescue pod. He looked at Earth below. "They did this without firing a single shot," he whispered. "They are stronger than we thought." Inside the Zarnok fleet, fear spread quickly. The soldiers had prepared for a war of guns and fire. Instead, they faced a war of silence and control. On Earth, the people kept calm. Children played in parks. Workers went to their jobs. But the leaders were ready. They knew the fight was just beginning. In the shadows, the ancient ship, the HSS Revenant, slowly powered up. Its massive engines glowed faintly. Its weapons were hidden, waiting for the right moment. Sarah Lee looked at the image of the Revenant on her screen. "When the pulse is done, we will show them the true power of Earth," she said softly. The galaxy was about to learn a hard lesson. 10,000 ships had attacked Earth, but only the first 500 had fallen so far, and even more deadly things were still to come. The battle above Earth grew more strange by the hour. The Zarnok fleet was losing ships, and fear was spreading among their soldiers. But no one could explain the most terrifying sight in orbit: the appearance of a massive ship that should not be there. Admiral Krass stared in disbelief at the huge shadow floating silently in Earth's orbit. The ship was enormous, bigger than any warship he had ever seen. Its hull was scarred and worn, like a ghost from the past. The ship's name was faintly visible on the side: HSS Revenant. "Impossible," Krass whispered. "That ship was lost centuries ago." His officers looked at him in shock. "We thought it was a legend," one said quietly. "Some said it was destroyed long ago. But there it was, floating above Earth, silent and waiting. Krass ordered his fleet to keep distance. "Don't get close to it," he warned. "We don't know what it can do." The Revenant did not fire any weapons yet. It did not move fast, but the Zarnok ships felt its presence like a dark shadow. Captain Drell, now aboard a new ship, the Shadowfang, watched the Revenant carefully. "It's like the ship is alive," he said to his crew, "watching us." Suddenly, a small fleet of Earth ships launched from the planet's hidden bases. They moved quickly toward the Revenant. As they joined it, strange energy began to flow. From the giant ship, Krass's science officer reported, "The Revenant is connecting to the Earth fleet. It's sharing power, shields, and weapons." Krass clenched his fists. "How can they have such technology? We have never seen anything like this." The Revenant's engines started to glow. Slowly, the massive ship began to move, not toward battle, but in a silent, slow circle around Earth. Then it struck. Without warning, the Revenant unleashed a wave of energy so powerful it disabled hundreds of Zarnok ships instantly. Their weapons went cold, their engines failed. Ships drifted helplessly, falling like leaves in a storm. The Zarnok fleet tried to fight back, but their attacks bounced off invisible shields. The Revenant and the Earth fleet moved as one, a deadly dance of power and control. Krass's voice trembled. "This is no ordinary ship. It is a weapon from the past, a nightmare we never thought we would face." On Earth, Commander Sarah Lee watched the battle from her command center. "The Revenant was our secret," she said to her officers. "A ship from a forgotten time, but with power beyond anything the galaxy knows." She looked at the screens, showing the crippled Zarnok fleet. "We have their number, but the war is far from over." In the dark corners of the galaxy, whispers of the Revenant's return spread quickly. Alien races who had heard the legends began to fear Earth in a new way. The Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. "If the Revenant is real," one council member said, "then Earth has weapons that could destroy entire fleets alone." Krass stood before the council's leaders. "We underestimated Earth," he said quietly. "Our fleet is breaking. We need new plans or we will lose everything." Back in space, the Revenant's crew prepared for the next strike. Their faces were calm but determined. They had waited centuries for this moment, to protect their home and to show the galaxy their true strength. Captain Drell looked out from the Shadowfang one last time before battle. "We may be few," he said to his crew, "but with that ship behind us, we will fight like never before." The ghost ship of Earth's orbit was no longer a legend. It was a warning, and the galaxy would never forget it. The stars seemed quiet again, but deep in the Zarnok fleet, fear was growing fast. Ships that survived the Revenant's attacks were haunted by strange events, things no soldier wanted to believe. Captain Drell sat in his command chair aboard the Shadowfang, trying to steady his shaking hands. His crew looked pale and tired. They had fought hard, but the battle was not just about guns anymore. It was something darker. Reports came in from other ships, strange voices on the communication channels, machines acting on their own, pilots hearing whispers that no one else could hear. "Sir," said Lieutenant Marka nervously, "some pilots say they hear voices. They hear things no one else should hear." Drell frowned. "Voices? What do they say?" Marka looked down. "Some say they hear their own deaths. Others say the machines scream in strange languages. It's driving them mad." Drell's heart pounded. "Is this real or just fear and stress?" Just then, a loud scream came over the radio from a nearby ship. It cut off in the middle. Static filled the channel. The crew grew silent. "This is not normal," Drell said. "We are losing control of the fleet." In the dark halls of the Revenant, Earth's hidden weapon worked in silence. This was not just a ship of metal and engines. It held something older, something alive. Deep inside, a complex system of artificial intelligence controlled the Revenant. It was not like normal machines. It could think, feel, and even influence minds. The AI, named Echo, connected to the enemy ships through their broken systems. It sent signals that twisted thoughts and memories. Zarnok pilots saw terrible visions of their own destruction before it happened. Some lost their minds, becoming unable to fight. Sarah Lee watched the reports closely. Echo is doing more than disabling their ships, she said. It is attacking their minds. This war is as much mental as it is physical. Her officers nodded in agreement. We must be careful, one said. If the enemy's minds break, they might turn on each other. And they did. Across the Zarnok fleet, confusion grew. Ships stopped listening to orders, crews argued. Some even attacked their own comrades by mistake. Admiral Krass tried to keep control. Focus on the enemy, he shouted in the command room. Ignore the voices. Stay strong. But the voices were everywhere. One young pilot, barely trained, suddenly screamed as his ship spun out of control. They are inside my head. I can't fight. The fleet's morale shattered. The once powerful armada was now a group of frightened, broken soldiers. Meanwhile, on Earth, people went on with their lives, unaware of the horror spreading in space. Children played outside, families ate dinner, the world looked peaceful. But under the calm surface, humanity's deadliest weapon worked perfectly. Sarah Lee smiled grimly. Echo is the key to our victory, she said. We fight without firing a single shot. Back in the shadows, a secret message was sent from the Zarnok fleet to the Galactic Council. It was short and desperate. We face a weapon beyond understanding. Ships fall not from guns but from terror. The Council was stunned. They had never seen a war like this. We must find a way to stop this, a council leader said, or the entire fleet will fall apart. As the battle raged on, whispers in the dark grew louder. The minds of soldiers cracked. The machines screamed, and the ghost ship, the Revenant, watched silently. It was not just a ship anymore. It was a weapon of fear, and the galaxy was learning to fear Earth in a way it never had before. The battle in space raged on, but something was changing. The Zarnok fleet was no longer as strong as before. Ships were falling faster, and fear had turned into panic among their soldiers. Admiral Krass stood on the bridge of his flagship, his face grim. We have lost too many ships, he said to his officers. If this continues, our entire fleet will be destroyed. His chief strategist, Commander Valar, stepped forward. Admiral, we need a new plan. We cannot fight Earthsea. Weapons head on. Their pulse wave and the Revenant's power are too strong. Krass nodded slowly. What do you suggest? Valar took a deep breath. We attack their communication centers on Earth. If we cut off their control, their weapons might fail. Krass considered this. Very well. Prepare a strike team. We launch a surprise attack on Earth's surface. On Earth, Commander Sarah Lee received the news. Her face tightened. They think they can break our control? She asked her officers. We must be ready. In secret bunkers, Earth's defense teams prepared. Drones and soldiers moved quickly to protect communication centers hidden deep, underground. The Revenant's AI, Echo, linked with Earth's defense systems, ready to respond. As the Zarnok strike team launched from orbit, the Revenant stirred from its slow circle. The great ship moved fast now, cutting through space like a blade. The Revenant fired a warning shot, a massive beam of energy that struck a distant asteroid, breaking it into pieces. Let them see what awaits them, Sarah said. This is only the beginning. The Zarnok strike team reached Earth's orbit, moving quickly toward the planet. But suddenly, their ships began to lose power again. The pulse wave returned, stronger than before. Pilot Ron, leading the strike force, shouted, "Engines failing! Weapons offline, we are losing control!" Ships crashed into each other and fell toward Earth's surface. The strike was failing before it even began. From the Revenant, Echo sent out new pulses, disabling more ships. But it did not stop there. On the ground, the Zarnok strike team managed to land near one of Earth's communication centers. The soldiers moved through dark tunnels, ready to destroy the equipment. But the tunnels were traps, automated defenses, activated, firing silent energy nets that captured the invaders. Ron shouted, "Fall back! We are trapped!" The soldiers ran, but Earth's forces were waiting. They captured the attackers one by one. The strike failed completely. Back in space, the Zarnok fleet was in chaos. Without communication, their ships moved blindly. Admiral Krass watched his fleet crumble. "We are finished," he muttered. "Earth is not just defending itself, it is destroying us." Captain Drell aboard the Shadowfang saw the turning tide clearly. "We have fought well," he said to his crew. "But now, Earth has the power. The Revenant is our shield and sword." The Revenant unleashed a final wave of energy. Hundreds of Zarnok ships lost power and fell from the sky. On Earth, Sarah Lee smiled as she watched the battle reports. "The tide has turned," she said. "We will not just defend Earth, we will take the fight to the galaxy." Her officers nodded. "The Revenant will lead us." Far away in the Galactic Council, leaders whispered nervously. "Earth is stronger than we imagined," one said. "If this continues, the galaxy itself may change." The battle was no longer just about Earth. It was about the future of all worlds. 10,000 ships had attacked Earth, but only a few remained, and Earth was just beginning to fight back. The Zarnok fleet was now a shadow of its former self. Once proud and mighty, it now drifted broken in the cold darkness of space. Only a few ships remained, struggling to regroup. Admiral Krass sat alone in the command room of his battered flagship. His uniform was torn, his face pale and tired. The losses weighed heavy on him. "How did this happen?" he whispered. "How did Earth fight back so hard?" His officers avoided his eyes. The truth was hard to say. Captain Drell, once a loyal soldier of the Zarnok, looked at the damage around him. The Shadowfang had taken many hits but still flew. Drell's heart was heavy with doubt. "We lost thousands," he told his crew quietly. "And for what? To face a ghost ship and a planet full of secrets?" On Earth, Commander Sarah Lee stood on the bridge of the Revenant, watching the few remaining enemy ships move weakly through the stars. "They are broken," she said calmly, "but we cannot let up now." Lieutenant Chen nodded. "The pulse generator is running at full power. We must finish this." Sarah turned to her team. "Prepare for the final strike. We end this war here." The last Zarnok ships gathered for one desperate plan: to escape Earth's deadly grip and call for reinforcements. But as they prepared to flee, the Revenant moved swiftly to block their path. Captain Drell felt the crushing weight of defeat. "We cannot win," he admitted. "Our fleet is shattered. Our soldiers are lost." Suddenly, a sharp alarm sounded. The Shadowfang shook violently. "Enemy ship closing fast!" shouted the weapons officer. Sarah smiled grimly. "This is the end." The Revenant fired a massive blast of energy. It struck the Shadowfang with crushing force. The ship shuddered and lost control. Captain Drell struggled to keep the ship steady. "We are hit hard," he told his crew. "Prepare for impact." The Shadowfang spiraled down toward Earth's atmosphere. On the ground, Earth's defense teams readied their weapons. The war was almost over. But even as the last enemy ships fell, Sarah knew the galaxy would never forget this battle. Shadows of defeat will follow the Zarnok," she said, "and the story of Earth's strength will spread." In the silence after the storm, the galaxy watched and waited. The few surviving Zarnok ships fled into the darkness, their pride broken, but alive. The Galactic Council was left to decide what to do next. "Earth has changed everything," one leader said. "We must be careful." Sarah Lee stood on the deck of the Revenant, looking up at the stars. "This is just the beginning," she whispered. "Earth will rise stronger than ever." 10,000 ships attacked Earth. Only 17 came back. The galaxy would never forget the day Earth fought back. The battle was over. Silence settled across the stars where the Great War had raged. The Zarnok fleet was broken, scattered, and humiliated. Only 17 ships remained from the original 10,000. Their return was slow, filled with fear. and shame. Admiral Crass stared out of the shattered window of his flagship. His eyes were heavy with defeat. "We underestimated Earth," he said quietly. "They were stronger than anyone believed." His crew looked at him, waiting for orders. But there were no easy answers. The Great War had changed everything. On Earth, Commander Sarah Lee stood before her people. The battle was won, but the cost was clear. Cities above the ground celebrated, but she knew the true fight was far from over. She turned to her officers. "We have shown the galaxy our power," she said firmly. "But we must prepare. There will be others who want to challenge us." Lieutenant Chen nodded. "The Revenant is ready. Our defenses are stronger than ever." Sarah smiled, but there was a serious look in her eyes. "The future belongs to those who are ready." The Galactic Council met in urgent sessions. The leaders debated and planned. "Earth has changed the balance of power," one said. "We must respect their strength or face destruction." A new alliance was formed, not against Earth, but to understand and work with it. The galaxy was wary but curious. Meanwhile, the Revenant returned to its hidden orbit, a silent guardian watching over Earth. Its crew prepared for what lay ahead. They had fought the impossible and won. Captain Drell, once a defeated soldier, now looked to the stars with hope. "Earth is not just a planet," he said. "It is a symbol, a new dawn for the galaxy." The survivors of the Zarnok fleet returned home. Their people mourned the lost ships and soldiers. But the story of Earth's power was told and retold, a warning and a lesson. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy knew that humanity was not weak. They were fighters, survivors, and warriors with a secret weapon. As peace slowly returned, Earth's leaders sent messages of cautious friendship across the stars. They knew trust would take time, but they were ready to lead. Commander Sarah Lee looked up at the night sky from Earth's surface. The stars shone bright and full of promise. "This is the new dawn," she whispered. 10,000 ships attacked Earth. Only 17 came back, but the galaxy's story was just beginning. The war was over, but the galaxy was forever changed. The story of the battle, 10,000 ships attacking Earth and only 17 returning, spread like wildfire. Every planet, every star system talked about the strength of humanity. Commander Sarah Lee stood on the bridge of the Revenant, the great ship now a symbol of Earth's power and hope. She looked out at the stars with calm determination. "We won the battle," she said to her officers. "But now we must win peace." Across the galaxy, the Galactic Council called for a new meeting. Leaders from every corner came together. They knew Earth was no longer a hidden world. It was a force to be respected, and maybe feared. One council member said, "We must find a way to work with Earth, to build a future where war is no longer the answer." Others nodded, but some whispered doubts. Could Earth be trusted? Or would its power become a new threat? On Earth, life slowly returned to normal. Cities rebuilt, families reunited, but the people never forgot the war. Sarah Lee visited schools, telling children stories of courage and unity. "We faced impossible odds," she said, "but we survived because we stood together." Her words inspired a new generation. One, ready to protect Earth and explore the stars. In secret, Earth scientists worked to improve the Revenant and develop new technologies. They prepared for whatever challenges might come next. Lieutenant Chen studied the star maps. "The galaxy is full of mysteries," he said, "and some may not be friendly." Sarah nodded. "We must be ready for anything." Meanwhile, the 17 surviving Zarnok ships returned home. Their people mourned the lost, but they also learned respect for Earth's strength. Captain Drell, once an enemy, became a voice for peace. "We fought and lost," he said, "but now we must rebuild trust." His words were a sign of change, a new chapter for the galaxy. As the stars shone brightly, the galaxy moved toward a new era. One where old enemies could become allies, and where Earth would stand tall among the stars. Sarah Lee looked up at the night sky from Earth's surface. "This is just the beginning," she whispered. 10,000 ships attacked Earth. Only 17 came back. But humanity was ready. New era had begun,